Shalom, Facebook. Back at it again like clockwork. Doing the Lord's will, putting in the Lord's work. We're not going to stop till the Black Messiah get here, man. Just to let y'all know, just in case if y'all forgot or something. Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel across the whole world, man. Across the four corners of the earth. Shabbat Shalom to you, brothers. Keep pushing. Keep enduring. We're going into the love of the Most High in the Son, Facebook. You're going to find out a lot of Israelites, they hate God. They actually hate him. They despise his words. But we're going to get some understanding on what this love is. 5, 4, 3. Shalom, 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 shalom. Giving all praises to the Most High Yahweh and his only begotten Son, firstborn of his creation, Yahweh Shah. Saying Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered across the world, man. No matter where you at, we putting on these boots on the ground. We ministering out to the people. We healing all manner of sickness through the Most High, through his Son, through his will, and through his prophecies, man. What we're going to get into today, we're going to get into a topic that, this word don't have a lot of meaning because the so-called white man, he taught you what he wanted you to know what love is and what love for the Most High and his Son is. And he pushes it through Christianity. He pushes it through, his good old, Sunday, Ebenezer, St. Mount Zion, Holy Mount Church in Christ, through the Baptist Church, man. He pushing these lies on you, telling you what the love of God is. And they tell you what, if you love God, all you got to do is that you just got to confess that the Son, that sexual revolution is the Son, and you just gotta believe that he came and then that you're gonna be saved. You can go in, you can go into the devil's house on Sunday. You can participate in a Rick James, Bobby Brown, Belle Biv DeVoe concert, Bobby Brown concert. Put your money in a collection plate, and then you love God. But they don't ever teach the fear of the Most High, because in order to love him, you must fear him. It goes hand in hand. But we're going to get into that today because we got to cast out all of this Christianity that's still in Israel's mind. We still got trickery, still got sorcery, black magic, wizardry, astrologers, monthly prognosticators, all of these things that our enemy has placed in our heads about our culture, about our nationality, about our salvation, about our Lord and Savior, and about the Most High. We're going to cast all these down, man. So we in the Apocrypha. We're in the book of Ecclesiasticus. And we're going to start at chapter 12, and we're going to read verse 10. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
He say, never trust thine enemy, man. So everything that you done learned about this Bible, you have to completely never trust your enemy. Your enemy is at work right now, Israel. He's at work right now to try to establish, his so-called New World Order. He's out to make war with the saints. The dragon was wroth with the woman and set to make war with the saints. That spiritual war and that physical war, Israel. If you don't know that you in the times where the Black Messiah is on his way, it's time for you to wake up. Because we got a spirit of deep sleep that's still upon the nation of Israel. And they trust in oppression and they live in oppression. I don't know if you can't know it by now, but this is not the time to be loving your oppression or your oppressors. And that's what our oppressor has taught us, is to love him and to hate our God. Never trust thine enemy. Nothing that he say. Read.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
It says, so for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. That means he will never change, Israel. And everything that he has ever taught you about yourself, about your culture, about your heritage, about your nationality, you can never, ever trust your enemy. And you got all these people, especially Christianity, man, we deal with them all the time. They always say that they love God. They always say that they love Jesus Christ. They always say that, but if you go by their actions, they ain't got no faith, man. They just sitting on the couch, eating them a good catfish nugget basket, wrapped in bacon, dipped in bacon grease, sitting up watching them some foosball, drinking all day, smoking their little cigarettes, not want to take care of their body, sitting down, not even keeping the Most High's commandments, but they say that they love God. They say that they got love for Yahweh Shah. You ask them what love is, they don't know what love is because they oppressor taught them that love is an emotion. The oppressor taught them that love is something that you can think in your head. The oppressor taught them that love is something that you can just feel. We're going to get some clear understanding of what the love of the Most High is. Because if you ask anybody, do you love, so-called Jesus? Do you love God? They're going to tell you, yeah, like it's clockwork, man. But you ask them to prove to you in the Bible what love is, they will never be able to do it. That's why they on the bottom. That's why these curses haven't been reversed on them. We're going to get some understanding on that. St. John, give me that in St. John chapter 14, verse 15. We're going to get some understanding on this because people say love, love, love. That's the whole doctrine of Christianity. Love, 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 love. Love this. God is a God of love. He is a God of love and mercies and forgiveness. If you keep his commandments only to the Israelites. That's whole Christianity, whole doctrine. It's just love this, love this, love this. And you ask them what love is, they won't be able to tell you. Jiminy Crickets. Read this right quick, God.
The book of St. John, chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
Hold up. Read that again, Ark.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
So I don't understand Christianity off that one Bible scripture. How is the laws of God done away with? And Christ said out of his own mouth, everybody they love to say they love says bonjour, right? It say, if you love me, keep my commandments. Christianity's entire doctrine is shut down within one verse because they do not keep his commandments. So obviously they don't love him. Yeah, they might have an emotional feeling. Yeah, they might have a zeal. Yeah, they might, think it in their head and, go to the devil's house on Sunday, show everybody how good they can crip walk and blood walk down the aisle, shucking and jiving. Read that again, Out.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
I mean, that's the whole duty. I mean, that's the end of everything. A bunch of doctrines have been killed with this one verse, especially if it came out that Catholic Church, man. Anything that come out the Catholic Church is Christianity. Muslim is Christianity. It comes from the so-called white man. He's a born liar. Jump down to verse 21.
He that hath my commandments and keep them, he it is that loveth me.
He said, he that have his commandments. So you got to know the commandments first. You can't say that you a commandment keeper and you're not diligently studying these commandments and you don't know these commandments. You are a liar then. You must be diligently seeking in the Lord, and he will reveal himself to you by giving you his word. That's how he revealed himself to you. He ain't going to pop up like no, transparent, just going to show up to you in your face. No, he going to send his word. It's saying, he that keepeth them, it is him that love me. He's saying the same thing. If you keep my commandments, then we're going to get in, we're going to thoroughly break this down too, man, because a lot of people don't even really understand what it means to keep God's commandments. They hear it all the time, especially in Israel. That's the thing. It don't matter really what camp you in. That's what everybody say, really, is keep the commandments. But I don't hear a lot of people breaking these commandments down, man. Loving your brother and your sister. What does that actually mean? Does that mean have an emotional feeling towards your brother and your sister? There's laws to show you how to love your brother and your sister. We're going to get into that. Read.
He it is that loveth me.
Read.
And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father.
So if you put on for Yahweh Shai, the Most High gonna put on for you. Read.
And I will love him and will manifest myself to him.
He said he gonna manifest himself unto you if you keep his commandments. How is he manifesting himself to you? Through the prophets, through the voice of the Lord, through the men. He's gonna reveal his word unto you, Israel. If you're not keeping the Most High's commandments, you don't really love the Most High. You actually hate him. And you love the so-called white man. Because everybody is drunk on the Babylon juice, man, on the daughter of Babylon. You got Allah Akbar and them, they wearing three-piece suits, man. You got Ham down there, they wearing three-piece suits. The Aborigine, man, they wearing three-piece suits. The Israelites, they wearing three-piece suits. Everybody is drunken off the wine of the daughter of Babylon. So you must get these ideologies, and especially that Christianity, you must get that out your head. If you say that you love the Most High, you must be keeping his commandments. Give me that in Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 14.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
That's talking to you people. That's talking to you Israelites, man, that have been called to be awakened. Woe unto you that have lost patience, man. Because I guess, when you was watching the videos or however the Most High God woke you up with a lot of these Israelites, I guess they think that they was going to come into the truth and they was going to become a billionaire overnight or something. I guess they thought that, they going to come in and say that they're Israelite. They can proceed in their lust. They going to get them a good mansion. They going to get them a Bentley, They going to continue living a worldly life. Nah, when you come into this truth, the Most High going to check you, man. He going to get your spirit right. And woe to you that have lost patience, man. You see it all the time. Bruised, patience is just off, man. Especially with these sisters, man. They come into the truth for 3 months and they already complaining. 6 months already complaining. Man, your first year in this truth, you shouldn't be saying nothing, man. You should be getting this Bible and studying and learning and showing yourself approved. Woe to you that have lost patience in this truth. And if you lost patience, you don't love the Most High. Patience endure forever. Read.
And what will you do when the Lord shall visit you?
What you gonna do when the Most High pull up on you, man? What you gonna do when the Most High send that so-called white man to repo that car because you got that too expensive car you ain't supposed to be having, or the too expensive house that you ain't supposed to be having? Trying to trying to move on up like on the east side, man. Trying to live with the Joneses. You're not really loving the Most High, because if you was in the spirit, you would not love this world. You would be keeping his commandments. We're going to go through some of that later on. Read on.
They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word.
So people say that they fear the Most High. You ask people all the time, do you love the Most High? They'll say, yeah. But if you ask them, do you fear the Most High? They'll be like, fear. Because Christianity, they do not teach the fear of the Lord. The Israelites, we're going to pound you and pound you and pound you with the fear of the Lord, because that's the beginning of everything. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. If you don't fear the Most High, you don't love him. They are synonymous. They go hand in hand. Read.
And they that love him will keep his ways.
It's saying the same thing, man. Even in the Apocrypha, they that love him will keep his ways. They that love him will keep his commandments. I'm just not understanding all these doctrines of devils, man. If you just pick up your book and read it, it say they that love him will keep his ways. How you going to say that you love the Most High and his Son, and you frying up you a good pork chop butt, man? That hog maw, man. Still eating them chillings, man. Want to be like the so-called white man, the devil, going into Red Lobster and all these, so-called bougie restaurants, ordering you some caviar, man. Ordering you that nasty crawfish. Ordering you that those oysters, man. That lobster and that shrimp, all the so-called delicate eating that the devil has laid up for you. How can you say the Most High and you doing these things? Performing usury on your brothers. It takes you $10 to do something, and then you want to sell it to your brothers for $100. That's usury on you. But you say that you love the Most High. Still got a lustful spirit for other women's husbands. Still got a lustful spirit for other men's wives. And you say that you love the Most High. Talking down and murmuring on your people, man. But you say that you love the Most High. Going out to the street corners, pumping false doctrines, man. Talking about that you love the Most High and his Son. That's blasphemy, man. I cannot understand this. This Bible is simple. If you say that you love the Most High, just do what he say do. It's not rocket science, man. It's not even math. It's just do it. It's just life or death. Read.
They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him.
He say, if you really love the Most High, if you really love Yahweh Shai, you're going to do what's well pleasing unto him. What's well pleasing unto the Most High? His word, his commandments. It's not hard, man. You just got to want to do it. See, the Most High is waking us up, and he's trying us, and he's refining us as silver is refined, and he's trying us as gold is tried. When you read that in Zechariah, the 13th chapter, that's all it is. He's just trying to see if you really gonna do his words. He's just trying to see if you really gonna keep his commandments and not be running your mouth, man. There will be leaders in Israel, just in case if y'all didn't know, man. There is rank in Israel, just in case if y'all didn't know. There is an army of men in Israel, just in case if y'all don't know. So a lot of people that got problem with rulership, they got problem with, order and establish. Most High will destroy you for that. Read.
And they that love him shall be filled with the law.
Read that again.
And they that love him shall be filled with the law.
It say they that love him shall be filled with the law, man. So if you say that you love the Most High and you're not filled with the law, you lying. You are a liar. You are a natural born liar. You might as well be an Edomite because they come out the womb lying. If you love the Most High, you're going to be filled with the law. People got a problem with the dietary law. You don't love the Most High, man. People got a problem with with all of his judgments. You don't love the Most High. People got a problem with everything, man. People got a problem with it with his high holy days. People got a problem with working together, loving their brother. If you hate your brother, you a murderer, man. And you will get put to death. Read.
They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight.
See, it say if you fear the Most High, you're going to prepare your minds and you're going to humble yourself. You ain't going to be running game on the Most High. You're not going to be trying to be something that you're not. It didn't say who could break down precepts going to make it to the kingdom. It say who keep his words, man. It say who do his commandments. A lot of brews, they still stuck on that, man, because their enemy has taught them to compete with their brother. Man, that brother, man, he got that new breakdown. He wise. Still got a covetous spirit on the brother. The brother is not even the head of his own house, man. I'm just trying to give y'all analogies, man. This is simple, and you must find out who you are. Read.
Saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord.
See, if you faithful, you're going to think in your head, man, I'm going to be delivered in that day, because it's about to go down, Israel, just in case if y'all didn't know. Read.
And not into the hands of men.
We ain't worried about what men say. We ain't worried about the glorification of men's. Christ said he came here not to be glorified. He came here to do the Father's business. We just a reflection of him. We should do the same thing, Israel. It's not that hard. Stop being in the spirit of a nigga, man. You got to put that off of you. Put off the old man, put on the new man. Read.
For as his majesty is, so is his mercy.
The Most High will have mercy for you if you keep his commandments. Jump over to chapter 10. We're still in the same chapter, Ecclesiasticus, but we're just going to the 10th chapter now. We're just getting some understanding of what the love of the Most High is. People say it all the time. You're supposed to love the Most High. How do you do that? We're getting understanding. If you love him, it's just simple. You're just going to do what he say. You're going to keep his commandments. I mean, it's the simplest thing ever. But Israel, we stiff-necked and we hard-headed, and we have been that way since the beginning of establishing the nation, man. And you will repent, Israel, because if you don't, you will be destroyed. I mean, that's just it. He said before you this day a blessing and a curse. You don't want to keep his commandments. You might as well get you a first-class RSVP ticket. Get you one of them, 8 Emirate jets that you can lay your bed in and you can play your PlayStation 4 in, because it's going straight to the lake of fire. Read this.
They that fear the Lord are a sure seed.
Read book, chapter, verse form.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, verse 19. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed.
If you fear the Most High, that means you're going to keep his commandments. So what the scripture is saying, that they that keep the commandments are a sure seed. It's all about the remnant, Israel. It's all about the elect men, the 144,000 dogs, soldiers, warriors for the Most High. And then you have the 1/3 of Israel. They're gonna be in subjection to them. But they're still gonna be above everybody that's on the face of the earth. They are a sure seed that keep his commandments. Read.
And they that love him, an honorable plant.
If you love the Most High, in his eyes, you are an honorable plant unto him. I'm trying to be that. Read.
They that regard not the law.
See, now it's a flip side. The Most High always deal, so a false balance is an abomination unto him. He's always going to have a good side on the right hand side, and he's always going to have the wicked on the left hand side. You choose what you want to be on. Why you think he told Yahushua to sit at his right hand?
Mm-hmm.
Because the right hand represents righteousness. Read.
Or a dishonorable seed.
So if you disregard the law, you are a dishonorable seed. If you disregard the laws of the Most High, you don't love him. I mean, it's simple, man. You know, you hating against your own brother, your own sister. You know, you disregarding leadership. You disregarding the men that the Most High put up to get your life right. You disregarding the power. Because the black woman, she hate the black man hate the black woman, the Latino woman hate the Latino man hate the Latino woman. Wondering why you got 4, 5 baby daddies. Read on.
They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed.
Christ said, if you love me, keep my commandments. In Ecclesiasticus, it says, if you transgress the commandments, you are a deceivable seed, man. It's literally saying the same thing throughout the scriptures, man. I don't understand that how people continually, they make excuse after excuse after excuse on what they can't do and what they don't want to do because it don't fit their sins. It don't fit their lustful lifestyle. And I'm trying to tell you, you still want to be in Christianity and you want to be a Hebrew Israelite, that's the dumbest thing you could ever do. Your life will be in shambles because the Most High will plead with you. And he will plead with you until he put your candle out. That's just how he get down, man. Isaiah 29. And you just got to understand it, man, because Israel, they just a bunch of hypocrites, man. I'm just not everybody. But a lot of Israel, man, just a bunch of hypocrites looking for handouts, want to have fun, you know, still want to do what Esau taught them what to do, man. That's all that they want to do. They want to integrate Esau's myrrh and aloe and frankincense and wine, lies, tradition. They want to mix that in with being a brute. They want to mix that in with being an Israelite. The Most High said judgment is going to start at the house of Judah first. It's going to start at the house of Israel first. And it's going to start for the ones that want to integrate. They still want to live their best life like Snoop Doggy Dogg, man. Like Dr. Dre, man. Want to be like Meek Mill. Want to be like Cardi B, want to be like Nicki Minaj. They still want to integrate that in, that mindset, that mind frame. They still want to integrate that with being an Israelite, man. How retarded is that? You're supposed to repent and change your ways fully. Never trust thine in it. You cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven except what? You be born again, except you repent, man. You can't integrate Christianity and being a brute. You will be destroyed first. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 13.
Matter of fact, start at verse 9.
Verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine.
All the people, man, that say that they love the Most High. They say that they love Yahushua, his son. And they do not keep his commandments. They are drunken. But they are not drunken with wine, man. They drunken off the so-called white man. People always say, why are you on the white man so much? White man so much. The white man is the devil, man.
That's right.
He is the seed of Satan. Mm-hmm. And he has gotten everybody to make an alliance with him, to join him. That's why they all got to go into the cotton field. All of them. Read.
They stagger, but not with strong drink.
This is a parable. It's saying the Israelites, we out here staggering, man. But we not staggering because, you know, we took a fifth of hen or something. We staggering because we drunk on all these lies. Right. Saying that we love God. You know, I got a personal relationship with him. I know him. You can't tell me nothing about my God. Still got Weavy Wonder in their head, man. You know, Bruce still ain't got gas in his car, man. Bruce still can't take care of his life, man. Bruce still ain't got everything that he do, everything that he got. Still can't keep a hold of it. Sister she cannot stop being a certified level 10 demon in the house. And she say that she love the Most High. Drunk but not with strong drink. Read.
For the Lord has poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep.
I tell Bruce all the time, man, it's time to wake up out of sleep. It is time for war. You read in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. It's a time of peace. It's a time of war. If you can't smell it in the air, it's a time of war, man. We in spiritual war right now. That physical war is coming and it is on its way, and you can't stop it. Read.
And hath closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered.
He sealed everybody, man. We just now waking up. Well, we not just now waking up, but we waking up in droves now. In the place of our captivity, we are remembering ourselves. We are remembering saying that, man, if I say I love God, if I say I love the Most High, if I say I love Yahweh, I got to keep his commandments, man.
That's right.
I can't be walking around with a big, you know what I'm saying, hog maw in my jaw, sucking out the juices of it, and I say that I love the Most High, man. I can't be walking around trying to eat me some good caviar, some fish eyes, man, this garbage, and say that I love the Most High. But that's Christianity all day, and they was taught on them. They went to their theology school, and the white man gave them doctrines of devils, and they will continue to push it on the nation of Israel until the black Messiah get here. Right. Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as his people draw near me with their mouth.
This is Christianity, man. And when I say Christianity, it don't matter what you is. You all Christianity, man. It's all under the banner of Christianity. You Seventh-day Adventist, you want to be Muslim, you want to be Buddha, you want to be, 7 chakras. You want to be. It don't matter what it is, man. It's Christianity, man. It's doctrines of devils. It's lies. So I call it Christianity because that's just what it is. Lies. Read.
And with their lips do honor me.
And that's what they do, man. And a lot of Israelites do this too, man. They say they draw near with the Most High with their mouth. You have a conversation with them, you'll think, damn, you know what I'm saying? This brother walking with the Lord, man. Damn, this sister, you know what I'm saying? She trying to do something good. As soon as she get into a car, turn back into that beast. As soon as he get into that car, he turn right back into that effeminate man that can't rule his house, man. But when you see him, they love talking. And see, this is love to Christianity. Saying it with your mouth. That's love. Having an emotional feeling about it. Love is not it's not a feeling. I'm sorry, Israel. Love is an action word. You know anything about this broken, dumbed down language that we speak in English, you should know that love is an action word. If a man tells a woman that he loves her, he will be the head of his house. He will take care of her. He can't say that he loves her and then he, kicking her upside the head like Shawn Michaels, giving him sweet chin music, man. Giving him choke slams like Undertaker and all that garbage, man. Love is an action word. Read.
But have removed their heart from me.
That's what they do. They remove their mind far from me. They remove their mind far from the Most High. And these are the same people that go around every day and they say that they love him. They say that they fear him. They got a good mouthpiece, man. They good with the tongue. But with their actions, they are far from him. Read.
And their fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men.
By the precept of who?
Of men.
Of who?
Of men.
That's what it is, man. Because pastors say, I can get dunked under some water a sinner, and I'm going to come back up a sinner, and I ain't got to do nothing else, man. I'm good. I'm saved and sanctified through the blood, through the blood, through the blood. Hallelujah. That's all they say every day of the week. I know him. I got a personal relationship with him. Still not even keeping the basic commandments, man. Still having other gods before him. Still committing adultery. Still stealing. Still lying. Still doing all these things, man. And they say that they love him. Give me that in James, James, real quick. The 2nd chapter, and we're going to start at verse 16. James, in the New Testament, we're going to go to the 2nd chapter, and we're going to start at verse 18. James chapter 2, verse 18 when you get there. Like, see, because a lot of people, you got to understand, it's simple. If you love the Most High, just keep His commandments. That's all you got to do. And you got to get in His commandments, and you got to learn the commandments. If you learn the commandments, then the Most High will show mercy unto you and will show grace unto you. I'm just trying to pound it in your head, man, especially for you Christianity people. If you say that you love God and you're not keeping His commandments, you're a liar. It literally says that word for word at the scripture. We're going to get it. James 2 and 18. Read that.
The book of James, chapter 2, verse 18.
Start at verse 17.
Verse 17. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead.
Hold up. Read that again.
Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead.
That's Christianity all day. Faith, 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 love, 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 grace, grace, grace. You ask them what love is, you ain't going to get no answer. You're going to get an attitude. They're going to pull out their 22 on you, or they shank. You ask them what faith is, they're going to pull out that 22 and that shank. And you ask them what grace is, they're going to pull out that 22 or that shank. They ain't going to know none of these answers, man. Just a bunch of regurgitated dummies. It say, even so faith, if it had not works, is dead. That kills Christianity, man. If it had not works, if you say that if you love the Most High, you must have works. You must do something, man. It's an action. The Most High, He judges you by your actions. Read.
And it have worked. Show me thy faith without thy works.
Read verse 18.
Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith.
A man always going to say, or a woman always going to say, all you got to do is believe, and you have faith, and you believe that Jesus Christ is the Son, and you're going to be saved. You believe in all that, and you ain't going to do that, you will get snapped in half. Read.
And I have works.
Read.
Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works.
He said He going to show you your faith by His works, man. He ain't going to be running his mouth to his brother, talking bad about one of his brews behind his back. Because a real man going to come up to you, he going to say something to your face. Because if we brothers, man, we should be able to handle it, family members don't get along all the time, man, but you should be able to, I used to grow up, man, I used to get into fights with my brothers and sisters all the time, man. But we still there for each other. That's just what it is. Family members gonna disagree. But if you disagree, you should be able to go up to your brothers, man. He said He gonna show you His faith by His works, man. Psalms 119. I'm just trying to show you, Israel. If you say that you love the Most High, like you love to do, run your mouth, you're going to keep His commandments. I mean, it's just simple as that, man. It can't get any, more simple than that. If you say that you love the Most High, you're just going to keep His commandments. That's what you're going to do. Psalms 119, 165. Read this, all right?
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 165. Great peace have they which love thy law.
Why you think we on the bottom, man? Why you think that we in section 8, that we in housing, first 5, last hired, housing, food stamps, governmental assistance, GMO foods, no grocery stores in your neighborhoods, no job opportunities, no opportunities for credit, because we ain't keeping the law. The ones who learn how to be content, the ones who learn how to just sit down somewhere, don't worry about all this glitz and glamour that the daughter of Babylon gives you. You just sit down somewhere, take care of your wife, take care of your children. That's what you're supposed to be doing, and coming back to the God of Israel and returning to Him. That's what you're supposed to be doing in the daughter of Babylon. Then you're going to have some peace because you love thy law. Read.
And nothing shall offend them.
If you keep in the Most High's commandments, nothing shall offend you, man. Read on.
Lord, I have hope for thy salvation, and done thy commandments.
And did what?
And done thy commandments.
Now, He didn't say think about it. He didn't say he knew the commandments. He say, and done my commandments, Israel. And done them. It's not hard, Israel. It's actually basically simple. Jump down to verse 168. No, read on. Verse 167. Read on.
My soul had kept thy testimony.
Nah, he said his soul, he knew the testimonies, all right?
My soul has kept thy testimony.
The Bible says the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's just these doctrines of devils. Only thing that they do, they read you 3% of the Bible. And they hate the men that's bringing out the scriptures too, because we are a reflection of Yahweh Shah. And they hate the men that's bringing out the scriptures, so they hate God, because we made in God's image. If you understand that the men's out here putting in these work for these wicked Negroes, trying to get them to wake up, if they understand that we are a reflection of the Most High, they would treat us better, man. But they still spit in our face, kick our sons, because we reading the judge of their God. They don't like it, so they want to take it out on us. It's okay. Recompense will come. Read.
And I love them exceedingly.
He said, what?
And I love them exceedingly.
He said he loved the law exceedingly.
That's right.
So how you think he felt about the Most High? Truly, he loved him exceedingly. Because what did Christ say? If you love me, keep my commandments.
That's right.
It all ties back in the same thing, Israel. You really don't love the Most High. You will not stand up. You will not stand up against the evildoers for the Most High if you don't love him. It is impossible. You might be able to do it for 2 months, 3 months, or whatever, but you will get weeded out, man. Read on.
I have kept thy precepts.
Nah, he said he knew the precepts.
I have kept thy precepts.
He said he kept the precepts, man. He actually did it, Israel. But Israel, they like to murmur, man. They like to run their mouth. They like to complain. You know, this is the same familiar spirits that was in Egypt. 3 days after being delivered from the Egyptians, they went back to complaining because, you know, Master gave them food and water. Read.
And thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee.
He said, all his ways are before thee. Jump over to verse 97. We're still in Psalms 119, but we just read in verse 97. Let's get some more on this law. Let's get some more on what it means for the correct meaning for the love of the Most High and his son. It's an action word, man. If you don't love the Most High, you actually hate him. It's not a gray area. It's either you love him or you hate him. You love him if you keep his commandments, and if you don't keep his commandments, you hate him. I mean, it's just simple as that. It's not hard. It's not a trick question. You know, all this geometry and algebra and trigonometry that the white man gives you. It's just simple, man. It's either you love him or you hate him. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 97. Oh, how I love thy law.
He said what?
Oh, how I love thy law.
What did Christ say? If you love me, keep my commandments. You can't love the Most High and not love the commandments. You cannot love the Most High and not love the law. You cannot love the Most High and not love his people. You cannot love the Most High and not be diligently searching these scriptures for these laws and these proverbs and these wise sayings. You cannot say that you love the Most High if you're not keeping his commandments. It ties all in together. If you're still eating pork chop, you hate God. If you're still eating catfish sandwiches, you hate God. If you're not congregating with your people, you hate God. If you're going to the devil's house on Sunday, you hate God. If you're not keeping his commandments, if you're not celebrating his high holy days, you hate God. It's just as simple as that. A blessing and a curse, life and death. It's simple. Read.
It is my meditation all the day.
See, he say it's his meditation all the day. What your enemy tell you, your meditation going to be Atlanta Housewives, a bunch of drag men's. Going to be the Oscars, a bunch of drag men's. It's going to be the Grammys, a bunch of drag men's. It's going to be on Empire, a bunch of drag men's. It's going to be in Law and Order, SUV edition, a bunch of drag men's. It's going to be NFL, a bunch of punks, man. He says the law of God is his meditation throughout all the day. It's simple. Read.
Though through thy commandments has made me wiser than mine enemies.
If you're keeping the Most High commandments, you're going to be wiser than your enemies, man. It's simple as that. Read.
For they are ever with me.
He say they forever with him. He ain't never departed from him. He know he in a situation, he dealing with his enemies. He'll hear out his enemies. He'll see what he got to say. But in the back of his mind, he going to have Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10 just running throughout his mind. Never trust thine enemy. Because he know that his enemy is born speaking lies. As it says in Psalms 58 and 3. He gonna be wiser. He gonna be wiser than his enemies, man. He know that he gonna be coming across an Israelite that got a familiar spirit on them, man. He know he gonna come to an Israelite saying that they've been in the truth for 10 years, don't even got fringes on their garments, man. He gonna know. He gonna have it. Yep, these people, they do honor the Most High with their lips and draw near with their lips, but their hearts far from him. You gonna have these laws, man. Read.
I have more understanding than all my teachers.
Read.
For thy testimonies are my meditation.
If the testimonies are your meditation, you automatically meditating on the Most High, because these are His words. His words are physical and spiritual, man. There is not another word that is powerful than the Most High God's words. He says the heavens and the earth shall roll away like a scroll, but my words shall last forever, man. When you read Matthew the 24th chapter, read.
I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts.
Read.
I have refrained my feet from every evil way.
This is what Israel do not want to do. They do not want to refrain their feet from every evil way. They want to keep sexual bonjour in their minds, and they want to keep. See, this is all. See, what I'm coming to realize, this is what Israel is doing. They're coming into this truth, but they still got Christianity in their mind. So what they do is they take sexual bonjour, and then they just make sexual bonjour a black man, and then they think that they in the truth now. All they did was make Jesus the Christ a black man. Still not keeping his commandments, still don't want to keep his high holy days, still don't want to gather with his brothers, murmuring against their brothers, don't want to keep order, don't want to build a nation. So that's all that they do. They just take Cedric Bozier and make him a black man. You will be destroyed, man. Yahweh Shai is coming back, man. The black Messiah. And if you ain't keeping his commandments, there's no negotiation with him. Because if you're not keeping his commandments, in his eyes, you are the enemy. Israel or the other nations. It's just that simple. Read.
That I might keep thy word. I have not departed from thy judgment, for thou hast taught me.
Read.
How sweet are thy words unto my taste.
This is another precept, man, for the Mark 7 and Matthew 15. Talking about, you eating something that defile a man. Read that again, Doc.
How sweet are thy words unto my taste.
I ain't never tasted words before. Literally, I've never went down to, I ain't never had somebody cook for me words, man. He said, how sweet are the words in my mouth, how it tastes. Right. How sweet are the words. It's just poetry, man. You gotta understand this poetry. Read.
Yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth.
These words are sweeter than honey in the men of Israel and the women of Israel mouth. If they do it, read.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Read that again.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
That's why a lot of Israel, they really struggling with this walk, man, because they not studying these precepts. It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom, of all knowledge, of all understanding. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Read.
Therefore I hate every false way.
He said he hate every false way, man. I'm just giving you precept upon precept, man. Line upon line, just to show you that if you say that you love God, and you say that you love the Most High, you're going to keep his commandments. As simple as that, man. We're going to get into it a little deeper, man. Psalms 1 and 1. Psalms 1 and 1. It's simple, man. Just do what the Most High tell you what to do. And just see if he a liar or not, man. See if he say that he's going to bring you comfort. See if he say he's going to deliver you from your enemies. See if he say that he's going to give you rest. Just take him for his word one time, Israel. Just take him up for his bet, please. See if he lying to you or not. That's the only way you're going to know. And you're going to find out his word is true. And it's never changed. And his word will always be true. If you love him, read this.
The book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
See, Israel, they still want to walk in the counsel of the ungodly, man. They want to pull up at that new J. Cole concert. Meek Mill got a concert. You know, they want to pull up at the Meek Mill concert. Oh, it's cool. You know, it's just a little Meek Mill. You know, they still want to pull up at the R. Kelly concert. You know, Bobby Brown probably on tour. It say, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the way, in the counsel of the ungodly." If it's not coming out the Bible, it's ungodly. I'm sorry.
That's right.
You can't make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Get it in your head. Read.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
They still want to stay in the way of sinners, man. They're talking about they love God. That's Christianity. Soon as they leave the devil's house, they go right in the way of sinners to Luby's. Right in the way of sinners to Golden Corral. Eating all that garbage. Endless shrimp. Saying that they love God, but still standing in the way of sinners. Still standing in the way of the ungodly, man. Read.
Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Read.
But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
Hold up. Read that again,
But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
So what did Christ say again? If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Right.
If you love the Most High, you're going to love the law of God. It's synonymous, man. It goes hand in hand. You cannot love the law and then not love Yahushua. You cannot love Yahushua and not love the law. It's synonymous. These are his words. These are his words. This Bible is him. It is wrote of him. It's written about him. So if you love his words, you will love him. I'm just trying to get it in your head, Israel. It's not hard. Read.
And in his law doth he meditate day and night.
If you love the Most High, you're going to meditate in this law day and night.
Right.
Day and night, you're going to meditate in this law. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People that's struggling in this truth, they do not read their Bible. They still got that Instagram. They still got that Facebook, you know, because they love drama, man. The enemy has taught them to love drama. And the Most High, he's trying to give them peace, but they love that drama so much, they can't refrain from it. 1 John 5:3. We're going in the classic, man. We pull this scripture every time we go to the street corner. And it's like in Christianity Bibles, this scripture is blotted out. It go from 1 John 5:1, and then it just jump to 2 John 6 or something, man. It's just blotted out in this Bible. It says it loud and clear. Read verse 2.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
I mean, it's saying the same thing over and over, Israel. If you say you love your brother and your sister, then you're going to love the Most High. Then you're going to keep the commandments. I mean, it's just repetitive, Israel. I'm just trying to tell you, if you want to love the Most High, if you say that you really love him, because they fling that love all the time. You ever notice that every time that you say the word love, they associate that with a heart? The red heart that they give you, that's not real. You know that, right? That's pagan God worship with that little red heart. You know, your heart is not your heart that pump blood in your body. It don't think, it don't act, it just pump blood, and it's not in a shape of like that. You say the word love, they immediately pump that red image of that weird looking shape. I don't even know what that is. They call it a heart. I don't even know what that is. They put that and they associate that with people. And they brainwashed our people to think that love is about kisses and hugs and Valentine's Day and all this garbage. Why do you think they pump Valentine's Day on you? Give you teddy bears and hearts and, you know, rosary beads and snickerdoodles and Snickers and all this garbage, man. Most High giving out his word. Read on.
For this is the love of God.
Hold up, Bob. Read that again.
For this is the love of God.
I mean, they wonder why we pull this precept every time we on the street corner. It's just plain and clear. I do not understand these Christianity peoples, man. These hypocrites, man. They're gonna be destroyed. This is the love of God. Read.
That we keep his commandments.
Read that again.
That we keep his commandments.
If you say that you love the Most High and the Son, you're going to keep his commandments. I don't know how many times it said throughout the Bible, but it probably says it like 1,000 times. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. And these people, they still do not want to learn these laws. They still do not want to keep the Most High commandments. They still do not want to serve Him. They are comfortable in oppression. They love trusting in oppression. And they love serving Cesar Borgia, man. Because Cesar Borgia tell them to come as you are. You ain't got to do nothing. You just got to be a good person. Good persons going to get their body snapped in half. Read.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And I had to meditate on this, man, because it says his commandments are not grievous, but I'm like, man, Israel, they are it's like a burden to them. Why would the Most High say his commandments are not grievous and it's a burden to our people? And I was just thinking, just meditating on this. What does he mean by it's not grievous? Obviously, it is grievous because Israel, they don't want to keep them. Then I'm breaking it down. I'm just like, man, you got 600 laws, statutes, judgments, 613 laws, commandments, statutes, and judgments that's in the Torah. You are not going to be in a situation to where you have to keep all 613 laws, statutes, and commandments on an everyday basis. Today, you might not be in an opportunity for you to even use usury against your brothers or your sisters. It's not hard. When you in that opportunity, then you keep that law. You know, you might not be in an opportunity to where you could commit adultery. But if you are in the opportunity that adultery might happen, you have that law to not commit adultery. It's not hard. See, people getting it mixed up, 613 commandments, and they look at us so crazy when we tell them it's not hard to keep 613 laws, statutes, and commandments and judgments. It's not hard. You can't keep a judgment. A judgment is the result of breaking the law. It's not something that you can do. It's a judgment for breaking that law. So if you do break the law, you have a judgment. That's included in the 613, Israel. It's not hard. You just got to do what the Most High tell you what to do. But they just want to run their mouth, and they want to complain, and they want to make excuses. It's not hard. You get in a situation to, whatever situation that you in, man, it's not hard. Bowing down before other gods. You going into somewhere, man, Cesar Borgia everywhere I'm walking out, man. I'm not trying to deal with that garbage. You just got to deal with them as it comes to you. It's not hard. St. John chapter 14. Chapter 14, and we're going to read verse 23. This is beautiful right here, man. I don't understand Christianity. When I say Christianity, I mean the Church of Holiness, the Episcopalian Church, Seventh-day Adventist, whatever garbage that you in. Yeah, I say it's garbage because it's doctrines of devils. It's garbage. Let's see what Christ say out of his own mouth. Read this, Art.
The book of St. John, chapter 14, verse 23.
Read.
Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my word.
All these scriptures we pulled today, it's saying literally the same thing. Literally the same thing. Old Testament and so-called New Testament. It's just one book, Israel. But it say, if a man love me, he will keep my words. Simple as that. Read.
And my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him.
If you keep the Most High's commandments, he will give you more understanding of his words. That's what it means that we will come unto him. We will make ourselves known. We will show him the prophecies. We will show him the correct understanding of the scriptures, precept upon precept. Read.
He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings.
Hold up. Read that again.
He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings.
It say, he that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings. So if you walking in the devil's house every Sunday, you don't keep his sayings. You do not love him. And you know the Sabbath is the 7th day of the week. If you not doing what the Most High tell you what to do, you not loving him, that means that you actually hate him. This is milk, man. This is simple. And Israel is still struggling with this, man. Read on.
And the word which ye hear is not mine,
Christianity, man. The word which they hear is not his words. Read.
but the Father which sent me.
Shalakia, read that again,
But the Father's which sent me.
It says the word which ye heard is not mine. Yahweh Shai didn't make nothing. He's just the CEO, man. I mean, he's just the president. He just does what the Father tells him what to do.
That's right.
That's all he does, man. But the Father which sent me, man. Give me that in 2 John. Verse 4. It's saying the same thing all throughout the Bible. And I'm going to pound you. I'm going to pound you. I'm going to pound you until you don't like me, man. I don't care. Because the love of the Most High is to keep his commandments. Anybody telling you, Israel, that they love the Most High and they don't even have the fringes on their garments, I mean, they are a dishonorable, a deceivable seed. 2 John, read verse 4, Ak.
The book of 2 John, verse 4, I rejoice greatly that I found of thy children walking in truth.
He said he rejoiced greatly when he see his chosen children, the 12 tribes of Israel, walking in the truth, man. Coming back to their nationality, building their nation again, on the cornerstone, which is Yahweh Shai. Read.
As we have received a commandment from the Father.
Read.
And now I beseech thee, lady, not as though I wrote a new commandment unto thee, but that which we had from the beginning, that we love one another.
That we do what?
Love one another.
That you love one another. You hear it all the time. Love your brothers and love your sisters. How do you love your brothers and you love your sisters? You keep his commandments. You have laws and you have statutes and judgments that tell you and show you how to love your brother, how to love your sister. It's not an emotional thing. It's not about your feelings. You've got to go to the scriptures and find it out. Let's get a couple of them. Deuteronomy. Got to go back to this Torah, man. I love the Torah. It just lays it out. You can disagree with it all you want to, but you will be destroyed. Deuteronomy chapter 5. We're going to start at verse 18. Going to give you a couple of scriptures to show you how to love your brother and how to love your sister. We're going to get a little bit of understanding. Deuteronomy chapter 5, we're going to start at verse 18. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 18.
And we reading out of the so-called 10 Commandments. It's in Exodus the 20th chapter, and it's also in Deuteronomy the 5th chapter. It says the same thing word for word. Read this.
Neither shall thou commit adultery.
If you love your brother or you love your sister, you will not be sleeping with his wife, and you will not be sleeping with her husband.
That's right.
If you love your brother and you love your sister. How do you know to do that? The commandment of God. Neither shalt thou commit adultery. So if I love my brother like I say that I do, I'm not even gonna look at his wife, man.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Get your own, man. You ain't supposed to be dealing with nobody else. Just get your own. You'll be fine. If I'm a sister, I'm not going to be looking at another woman's husband, man. Get your own, man. You'll be all right. Read.
Neither shall thou steal.
If you love your brother or you love your sister, you will not be stealing from them. You will not be taking property that is theirs and trying to use it as your own. If you love your brother and you love your sister. You see how it's all coming around? It's a circle. If you love God, you're going to keep his commandments. He's going to show you how to love him. If you love your brothers and your sister, it's commandments in the Bible to show you that you love them. It's simple. Read.
Neither shall thou bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Read that again.
Neither shall thou bear false witness against thy neighbor.
If you love your brother and you love your sister, you will not bear false witness against them. That's how you love your brothers and your sisters. You got to there are actual scriptures that teach you and tell you how to love your brother and love your sister. It's just a guideline. You're not going to bear false witness. And that's what Israel loved to do. Run their mouth, man. Gossip. That's what they love to do. Read.
Neither shall thy desire thy neighbor's wife.
If you love your brother and you love your sister, if you love the Most High, it all goes into it. We supposed to be loving each other through these scriptures. Right. You ain't going to be desiring nobody else's wife, man. Read.
Neither shall thy covet thy neighbor's house.
You ain't gonna even covet his house, man. You ain't gonna be stunned on him because he might be driving a Mercedes, man. He got some got the new 26s. You know what I mean? Got a 5-bedroom shack. You ain't gonna covet none of that. You ain't gonna want none of that. Read.
His field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor.
If you love your brother and you love your sister, you're not going to covet of what they got. It's laws and commandments to show you how to do that, Israel. I'm just trying to give it to you precept upon precept. Leviticus 19:17. Let's get a little bit more understanding. There are laws to show you how to love your brother, how to love your sister. You say people all the time, keep the commandments. If you go in the commandments, it'll tell you what to do to show your brother's love, to show your sister's love. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
There's a lot of hatred in Israel, man. There's a lot of envy. There's a lot of, there's a lot of this going on. You should never hate your brother. If you really got love for your nation, if you really love your brothers and your sisters, Israel, you ain't going to have no hatred for them. You're going to disagree at times. Family always disagree, man. Didn't all of Joseph's brothers sell him into slavery, man? Because they was hating on him because of his dream. Family, they going to disagree, man. Family going to argue. But you going to show them respect at all times. You're going to rebuke them with the word. Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Read.
And not suffer sin upon him.
If you love your brother and you love your sister, you ain't going to let him eat that pork chop sandwich. That's right. You're not going to let him walk around without no fringes on his garment. You're not going to let him lust after another man's wife. You're not going to allow him to do that. Read.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
If you love your brother and you love your sister, you will not have any grudges against your people. It's laws to show you how to do that, Israel. If you say that you love God, you're going to keep his commandments. He has several commandments in here. It's a beautiful thing if you just get in here to read it. It's like every covenant and every facet of life, you got a law for it, or a commandment for it, or a statute for it. Right. It's a beautiful thing. You see why King David say, I love thy law? Because you learn something new every time you read it. Read on.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Hold up. Read that again.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Wow. Israel, we ain't here yet, man. We still sleep. We still sick. Because the love in Israel is not there yet. Read.
I am the Lord.
Let's go back to 2 John. Just trying to show you, Israel. If you say that you love the Most High, it's just keep his commandments. I mean, it's just not hard. And the people that struggle with it, they just actually hate God. 2 John verse 6.
The book of 2 John verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm reading the same book in the same chapter or something, man. Because it sounded like to me it's saying the exact same thing. Just keep his commandments if you love him. Read.
This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it.
Ye shall do it. It's a bunch of hypocrites out there, man. 1 John chapter 4, verse 19. 1 John chapter 4, and we're going to read verse 19. I mean, it's all throughout these scriptures, man. But Israel, a lot of them, they're just some hypocrites, man. They're going to call out on the Lord in the time of their calamities, and he will laugh at you. That's just how he get down. Read this right quick, God.
The book of First John, chapter 4, verse 19. We love him because he first loved us.
Read.
If a man say, I love God.
So if a man or a woman say, yeah, I love God, yeah, I love Yahweh, read.
And hated his brother.
And you got hatred for your brother. You got hatred for your sister. Want to talk down on your brother. Want to talk down on your sister. Always got something negative to say. Read.
He is a liar.
He is a what?
A liar.
A what?
A liar.
Most High said you a liar, man. You playing games. Just like it's like Snoop Dogg said in Baby Boy. Quit BSing with yourself, man. Stop playing games with the Most High. Most High call you a liar. Read.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
Woo-hoo, man. The word of the Lord is quick, it is powerful.
That's right.
Sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the asunder of soul and spirit, joint and marrow, man. Woo. Man, this is a lovely thing, man. It say, how you gonna love not your brother when you see him every day and say that you love the Most High and you ain't never seen him, man? That's backwards. But that's Christianity all day. Just trying to show you, Israel, if you say that you love the Most High, you have to keep his commandments. It's just synonymous. I'm just giving you so many scriptures, man. If you still doubt that you got to keep his commandments to show the Most High love, you might be already marked. 1 John chapter 3, verse 15.
The book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Whosoever hated his brother.
Whosoever talking down on his brother, always murmuring, got nothing good to say. Read.
Is a murderer.
Is a what?
A murderer.
Most High call you a murderer if you hate your brother. Read.
And ye know that no murderer had eternal life.
You got to keep the Most High's commandments, man. Jump over to verse 8.
The book of St. John, chapter 3, verse 8. He that committed sin is of the devil.
So, you still eating that pork chop sandwich and you still say that you love the Most High? You still not gathering with your brothers? You got a problem with leadership and you don't want to say nothing to them? You got a problem with your brother and your sister and you don't want to go up and say something to them and acknowledge it? You saying the Sabbath is not the seventh day? Saying that when the sun come up, the day start? Pushing doctrines of devils? Not loving your brother and your sister? Not want to keep the feast of dedication? Not want to celebrate? Not want to do the Day of Atonement? The feast of first fruits? The feast of boots? The Sabbath days? The high holy days? The new moons? He say you of the devil, man.
That's right.
That's just his words. Literally. Read.
For the devil sinned from the beginning.
Sinned from the beginning, man. A born liar. Read.
For this purpose, the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil.
Casting down all lies, trick doctrines, abominations, man. All imagery, casting it down. Read.
Whosoever is born of God doth not commit sin.
Read that again.
Whosoever is born of God doth not commit sin.
Everybody in Christianity must not be born of the Most High. Everybody. Because they walking up in that club on Sunday morning, shucking and jiving, crip walking and blood walking all the way down the aisle, having a track meet. I mean, they having a relay race with the collection plate. On your mark, you said go, first leg, second leg, passing around the third corner with the collection plate, shuck and jive down, give it to the third leg, all the way down, right back to the pastor, man. And he throwing it in the air and making it rain. Read.
For his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of God.
A true seed. Read.
In this, the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil.
Hold up. Read that again.
And the children of the devil.
Everybody say, you ask them, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God. Well, who are these children of the devil then? Show them to me. Somebody got to be the children of the devil. It's not all the so-called white man. It's every nation, even Israel. Right. They are children of the devil in Israel, man. Read.
Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God.
No, I ain't got to celebrate the high holy days. I just got to believe that Jesus Christ is the Son and the blood, and faith. Read that out.
Neither he that loveth not his brother.
I'm just trying to show you, Israel, precept upon precept, line upon line. Deuteronomy 4. Let's get us some more in this Torah, man. Old Testament, New Testament. Let's just see if it's not saying the exact same thing. Deuteronomy 4:29. Let's just not see if it's saying the same thing. You got to be seeking the Most High diligently. You're supposed to love this law. If you love the law, you're going to love the Most High. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 29. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God.
That's what Israel, they don't want to do, man. Especially Christianity. They just want to run their mouth. They want to go in church and see who got the biggest hat on, man. They just, that's what Christianity is, just stunting on your brother. Brother Johnson came with that new Cadillac with them trues and bows on it. I guess the Lord blessing him. Deacon Bacon done came with that new tuxedo. Minister Shrimp got his new gaiters on. That's all they want to do with Christianity. They don't want to seek their power, their energy. Read.
Thou shalt find him.
If you seeking him, he going to reveal himself to you. You will find him. And the only way to seek him is to keep his commandments.
That's right.
Read.
If thou seek him with all thy heart.
With all your mind.
And with all thy soul.
Read.
When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days.
Even in the times that we in right now. Read.
If thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shall be obedient unto his voice.
How do you be obedient unto his voice, man? How do you be obedient to the Most High's voice? You keep his commandments. It's just saying the same thing, Israel. You can like it or not, but hey, it is what it is. Read.
For the Lord thy God is a merciful God.
See, that's what, Christianity, they love to say, God is a merciful God, man, but they don't want to read up or down. He's only merciful for those that keep his commandments.
That's right.
You ain't keeping his commandments, he will chastise you, trust me. Read.
He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them.
You hold the Most High down, he gonna hold you down.
That's
you
right.
Be real with him, he gonna be real with you. He gonna make your enemies your footstool soon, man. How could you not want that? Coming here to a close here, Israel. 1 John 4:7. We're gonna read this thing all the way out, man. Because it just sums it up. All these scriptures say the same thing. If you love the Most High, if you say that you love Yahweh Shai, you got to keep his commandments. It's just that simple. Read this out.
The book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 7. Beloved, let us love one another.
Hold up. He said what?
Let us love one another.
How do you love one another, Israel? Through the laws, statutes, and commandments. You're not going to be using usury against your brother. You're not going to be committing adultery. You're not going to have a covetous spirit against your brother. There will be no evil communication between you two. If you got a problem, you're going to get 2 or 3 witnesses, and you're going to handle the matter. If you love him, read.
For love is of God.
See, unity, brotherhood, sisterhood, that's of the Most High. It is. Read.
And everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God.
If you say that you know the Most High, you will keep his commandments. Read on.
He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love.
God is love, man. Christianity, they love that. But you ask them what love is, they don't know what it is. Love is order, man. Love is structure. Love is having everything together. Love is his commandments. Read.
In this was manifested the love of God toward us.
The love of the Most High was manifested towards us. How? We the only nation that got the oracles of God. We the only nation that got his law, statutes, and commandments. That's love right there. Read.
Because that God sent his only begotten Son into the world that we might live through him.
You know, you got a lot of Bruce out there that don't believe in the Messiah, man. They'll pull a New Testament scripture, but you read something like this, then this the part of the New Testament that's tampered with, I guess. Read.
Herein is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us.
Read.
And sent his Son to be the propitiation,
the sacrifice. Read.
For our sin.
He didn't have to do that, man. Israel, I'm trying to tell you, man, we on the brink of extinction right now. For real, for real. And we do not want to get our minds right. It's time to repent, for real. Read.
Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another.
Read that again.
If God so loved us.
If he chose us, if he gave us the oracles, if he gave us the understanding, if he loved us, read.
We ought also to love one another.
How hard is it, man, to love your brother and your sister, man? How hard is it to borrow $200 from your brother and give it back, man? How hard is it to do that, man? How hard is it? It's not hard at all. But the so-called white man has driven in our head in the thought of Babylon. Read.
No man had seen God at any time.
Read.
If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us.
Self-explanatory. Read on.
Hereby we know that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he had given us of his spirit.
Of whose spirit?
Of his
He
spirit.
gave us of his spirit. What is the spirit? These words. Read John 6 and 63. Read on.
And we have seen and do testify that the Father sent his Son to be the Savior of the world.
He's talking about the world of Israel, man.
That's right.
Go to Isaiah 45:17. Not right now, I'm just saying. Go to Isaiah 45:17 to get the understanding on that. Go to John 17 and 9. Go to John 18 and 20. Hebrews 1 and 1. Whatever you want to do. The world of Israel. Read.
Whosoever shall confess that Yahushua is the Son of God, God dwelleth in him, and he in God.
So all you Israelites that Torah Knights saying that Yahushua is not real, deal with that. Read on.
And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love.
God is love, order, structure. God is the word, the commandments. If you love him, keep his commandments. Read.
And he that dwelleth in love.
And he that dwelleth in the law. He that dwelleth in the commandments. Read.
Dwelleth in God.
It's saying the same thing, Israel. If you dwell in the commandments, you're going to dwell in the Most High. He's going to show you love. It's just that simple. Read.
And God in him.
Read on.
Herein is our love made perfect.
Made what?
Perfect.
People have a hard time saying that we perfect, man. That we striving to be perfect. You know, the so-called white man that drove it in your head that it's impossible. It's actually not hard to be perfect, man. You understand that keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High is not grievous. In order to be perfect, you got to keep the laws. So being perfect obviously can't be that grievous thing.
That's right.
Think about it. Use your head. Read.
That we may have boldness in the day of judgment.
In the what?
Day of judgment.
I'm going to tell you something, man. Israel's still sick. We got a long way to go. Because if the day of the Lord came right now, a lot of Israel, they going to be crying for Cesar Bosher. Read.
Because as he is, so are we in this world.
We are a reflection of him. Read.
There is no fear in love, But perfect love casteth out fear.
Read that again, now.
But perfect love casteth out fear.
Read on.
Because fear hath torment.
You fearing, man? Most High say, fear thou not. Fear them not that which can kill the body, but can't kill the soul, man. Read.
He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
If you fearing the Most High, that means, if you fearing this world, if you've got fear anything to not keep the Most High's commandments, then you are not made perfect in this love. You're not made perfect because you ain't keeping the commandments. Read.
We love him because he first loved us.
Read.
If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother.
Nah, that's good. We already read that. Last scripture, man. 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. This is we gonna end it on this. Hopefully, man, I got that chisel and I'm beating it in your head, man. You putting these laws like frontlets between thine eyes and binding them into your hands, as it says in Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter. Read this right quick, God.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
This is just, I don't understand it. If you say that you love the Most High, you say that you love Yahweh Shah, if you say that you know him, do what he say do. Read this.
He that saith, I know him.
He that say I got a personal relationship or he know him, read.
And keepeth not his commandments.
Don't want to come together on God, how holy days. We ain't got to do that. Jesus Christ got me. You just got to believe that he the son, the blood, faith. Read on.
Is a liar.
Is a what?
A liar.
Read.
And the truth is not in him.
Lake of fire. Read on.
But whoso keepeth his word.
Read that again.
But whoso keepeth his word.
Read.
In him verily is the love of God perfected.
If you keep his words, the love of God will be perfected. There's a lot of Israelites that hate the Most High. Read.
Hereby know we that we are in him.
Read on.
He that saith he abideth in him ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked.
You say you love the Most High, man, you're going to walk as he walked, man. Hopefully that was edifying. I'm trying to show you. If you say that you love the Most High, you're just going to do what he say do, man. It's just as simple as that. But Israel, have a lot of Israel that don't want to hearken. Hopefully it's for the lost sheep. His sheep will hear his voice. The 1/3, the remnant, man. It's time to get out of the daughter of Babylon, man. I'm ready to get out of here.
That's right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.